Right. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, and welcome back to the people that already subscribed. Please like and subscribe if you're interested in stuff that I do make. Still a small YouTuber, so sort of like growing slowly. Today I'm going to focus on Japanese cars that we never got in the UK, or at least were introduced in the UK but they never really sold in large volumes, so they are quite rare and you actually have to import them from Japan. So in this video I am going to focus more on the 90s Japanese cars, because we all know that the 90s was one of the best decades for the Japanese cars and stuff like that. But I also dip into the early 2000s, the mid 2000s, maybe the late 2000s. So don't get me wrong though, we have had a few Japanese cars that were quite good, that were introduced into the UK officially and sold through car dealerships. So we've had like the Lexus LS, the RX, the IS, and the Honda Legend. But we've had a lot of bad examples of Japanese products, and here are some of them. So 1997, we've had the iconic, the game changer, the legendary, what can I say, what other big words can I say, the most sought after vehicle, the Toyota Prius. Now hold on, don't slam me for what I just said. Now this car was pretty much a world class car when it came out, to be honest. It was one of the first mass produced petrol electric hybrid vehicles. It was introduced first in 1997. It was first introduced in the UK in October 2000. Right, so for those guys that are really interested in this car, it had a combined driving range of about 560 miles and a 0 to 62 in 13.4 hours. Seconds. What else? What else that's interesting? Maximum speed of 99 miles per hour. That sounds like fun. We also had the Nissan Micra, the Nissan Juke, the Nissan Qashqai, Nissan Cube, Toyota Yaris, Igo. Now I'll be honest, it's not all been bad. Now I've tried looking online to find out the reasons why we didn't get some of the Japanese models, and I could not find any, but my guess would be around the emissions and safety records maybe. But although Japanese cars have been known to be safe, what else? The 1989 gentleman's agreement. I don't know how that could be linked to this, but possibly that had an effect. So we've had a few Japanese cars that ended up on the UK streets unofficially, but they were imported. And I'm talking about the Toyota Sora, aka the Lexus SC. Upon introduction of the Lexus SC, it had two engine options, which was the 4-liter V8 and the 3-liter straight 6 engine. The 2JZ 3-liter straight 6 had about 227 horsepower and 304 Newton meters of torque. The 4-liter V8 of the 1UZ had 263 horsepower and 353 Newton meters of torque. Now for the Japanese market, on the Toyota Sora, there was also a 2.5 straight 6. So the 2.5 liter, which is also dubbed the 1JZ, which was introduced in 91 and ran up to 2000, had about 276 horsepower and 378 Newton meters of torque. Next up was the Lexus LC. This was a predecessor to the Lexus SC that was introduced in 1991. The Lexus LC was introduced in the year 2017 and introduced as a Grand Tourer and not as a hardcore track car. The LC came with two engine variants, which was the 5-liter V8 and the 3.5-liter V6, which came as a hybrid, with both the engines being petrol only. The V8 came with a 10-speed direct shift automatic transmission, with the V6 coming with a 10-speed multi-stage hybrid system automatic. For the V8, the power was rated at 471 horsepower, whereas the hybrid had a combined horsepower of 354. Prices start from around £76,000 here in the UK, going up to £90,000. We also have the Nissan GTR, which is a high-performance sports car and a Grand Tourer produced by Nissan. This was unveiled in 2007, the predecessor to the previous gen Skyline GTR R34. Now this car came with a 3.8 twin-turbo V6. However, there were many variants in terms of the engine output, with the 2007 one coming with 479 horsepower, and the Max Track Edition had 710 horsepower, all passed with a 6-speed dual-clutch transmission. We also had the Lexus RX, which was introduced in 1998 on the UK market. This was probably one of the first crossovers before it became one of the sought after segments. The RX came with a naturally aspirated V6 petrol engine. The RX had a power output of 220 horsepower, producing 222 pound-feet of torque, and came in two variants, a front-wheel drive and an all-wheel drive option. Some of the features included electric seats, TV, navigation, dual climate, reclining rear seats, pedal shifters. That's for the Toyota Harrier though. Alright, so here we got the Honda Accord, which was introduced in 1998. What you'll quickly notice is that the UK spec had a different look to it compared to the Japanese spec, with the UK one looking a bit more conservative compared to the Japanese, which was a bit sporty and sort of marketed towards the younger audience. So in this case, the exterior was the major difference between the two markets. Personally, the Japanese spec looked better with more angles, aggressive look, a more sportier look, and I guess more targeted for us youth, so it's more attractive. Now, first on the Mazda's list is the Mazda Cosmo, in particular the Series JC, which ran from 1990 to 1996. This car is probably one of the most ambitious cars by Mazda ever made. It's noted as being one of the first production cars with GPS, first production car with sequential twin turbos, and it had a triple rotary engine. The Cosmo came under the Yunus luxury channel. It was considered as the top line touring flagship of the Yunus brand. The Cosmo came with an electrically controlled 4-speed automatic transmission. The triple rotary engine, which had a capacity of 2 liters, produced a whopping 300 horsepower and 403 Nm of torque. It did 0 to 60 in the 6-second range. Next car we got the Mazda 99. This was Mazda's answer in the large and luxurious car market. The 99 was based off the HC platform, which ran from 1986 to 1991. The 99 came with 5 engine options, which range from the 1.3 rotary engine, 3-liter V6, 2.2 inline-4, 2-liter V6, and a 2-liter inline-4. Features included electric leather seats, digital speedometer, a cool box, and electronically adjustable suspension. Up next we got the
Toyota Cresta.
First up is the X90 series, which I'm going to talk about. This was developed between 1992 to 1996. The Cresta was developed as a 4-door mid-size car by Toyota. It shared its chassis with the Toyota Mark II and the Toyota Chaser, pretty much the interior, the engine, the suspension as well. The Cresta was to be placed as the more luxurious of the three. There was a choice of 6 engine options, ranging from a 1.8 inline-4, 2.4 turbo diesel, 2-liter straight 6, 2.5 straight 6, 3-liter straight 6, and a 2.5 twin turbo straight 6. For the trim packages that came with the Cresta, the Tourer V tops it off. The power transferred to the wheels from either a 4-speed automatic or 5-speed manual. Features included automatic climate control, side impact bars. It did come with 2 options for the drivetrain, which was the all-wheel drive or the rear-wheel drive. The X100 series was produced from 1996 to 2001. The X100 series came with 5 engine variants, starting from the 3-liter 2JZ GE inline-6, the 2.5 1JZ GE inline-6, the turbocharged 2.5 1JZ GTE, the 2-liter 1G FE, which is a straight 6 again, and the turbo diesel, which was a 2.4 inline-4. Next we have the
Toyota Chaser.
The Toyota Chaser, similar to the Toyota Cresta, was a mid-sized 4-door sedan developed from 1996 to 2001. This was the 6th generation and was dubbed the X100 series. It came with similar engine options similar to the Toyota Cresta, including the transmission options as well, and options for an all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive version. Next up we got the
Toyota Mark II.
Now I won't spend much time on the Mark II, seeing that it is similar to the Chaser and the Cresta, and I've mentioned some of the bits. Now the 8th generation Toyota Mark II, which was built from 1996 to 2000 and dubbed the X100 series, was available in many trim levels, including the Grande, Grande G, GL, the Tourer S, and the Tourer V. Introduced was the standardization of ABS and the new electronic traction control system. Features included electronically controlled dampers, driver side and passenger side electronic seats on specific models. Now we'll make an in-depth video on the Mark II Chaser and the Cresta. This video I'm just going to be briefly talking about the cars that we missed out in the UK. It came with an analog or digital dash with auto-zone climate control. Must say I do like this car though, because I've owned one before in 2009, as you can see from the picture quality. Up next we have the
日産グローリア
and the
日産セドリック
I'm going to focus primarily on the Y34, which was introduced in 1999 and lasted through to 2004. It was also brought forward to America as the Infiniti M45 in 2003, which had the V8 4.5 litre, which was shared with the Key 45 then. This was one of the answer in the luxury segment from Nissan. Both the Nissan Gloria and the Cedric came with V6 options and one inline 6 engine. The low-end engine was a 2.5 litre naturally aspirated V6, which then went on to the 2.5 inline 6 with a turbo, which was also found on the Skyline. Nissan also had the 3 litre V6, which was naturally aspirated, and the 3 litre V6 with the turbo on it. All the power was mated to either a 4-speed automatic or a CVT. Nissan, for the time and fully spec'd out, actually carried a lot of features that were not found in many cars at that time, particularly the 300 LV Premium Limited, which featured an inbuilt dash DVD player with AV ports at the back. Also featured an auto boot closure, auto leveling lights, triple zone climate control, auto reclining seats for the rear passengers, reverse camera, traction control, which wasn't common on many Japanese cars at that time, heated front seats. I was a fan of this, but it had the X-Droid CVT transmission, sports mode adjustable suspension, cornering lights. Now I'm not too sure what the need was for this feature, but it did have auto shutdown lights when you stop the vehicle as an option, and striking panelless doors, just to name a few features there. Very rare though, some of them came with buttons on the steering wheel that you could use to change your gears. One can only imagine the respect that the Nissan would have received from this vehicle if it was brought in the UK. Having owned one of these, I'd buy it again. Although I owned the 3 litre V6, which had a CVT, which I really despise of, and the fact that everything on the infotainment system was in Japanese and it was all guesswork, it's still a car that I'm looking to own again, possibly as a collector's item. Up next we've got the
日産ステッジア
The Nissan Stegia, dubbed the M35, was built from 2001 to 2007. This was a 5-door wagon which came in rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive option. It came with 6 options with a combination of the engine and the transmission, meaning that the 2.5 litre rear-wheel drive came with a 4-speed automatic, The four-wheel drive all-wheel drive versions of the 2.5 came with a 5-speed automatic. The 2.5 with the turbo had a 5-speed automatic. There was also the option of the ARX4, which was an all-wheel drive version, which either came with a 6-speed manual or 5-speed automatic. Then the 300RX, which had a 5-speed automatic, and then the 350S X's, which is a 6-speed manual. Features in these included a DVD-based navigation system, adjusted front seats, dual climate, Bose sound system with a subwoofer. It also shared the same platform with the Nissan Skyline GTR. The same platform was also shared with the previous gen Nissan Stevia, which was built from 1996, and this was dubbed the WC34. The Nissan Skyline GTR was also made as a station wagon at this point. We never got this car as well. Next up, we've got the
日産シルビア
in particular the SB15, which was introduced in 1999. This was a rear-wheel drive based two-door coupe. It received one engine option, however, one was a 2-liter non-turbocharged and the other one was a 2-liter turbocharged. The turbocharged version boasted of a 247 horsepower engine at 6,400 revs per minute and 275 Newton meters of torque at 4,800 revs per minute. There were two model lineups, which include the Spec S and the Spec R. Sadly, again, this was another car that was only available in Japanese, Australian and New Zealand markets. The Silvia came with 3 transmission options, which include the 5-speed manual, 6-speed manual and 4-speed automatic. The S15, however, saw its demise in 2002 as Nissan wanted to focus on fewer variants. Now I've got other cars as well that didn't make the list, but they are still worth the list. That's the Nissan Laurel, Toyota Crown, Mitsubishi 3000 GT or the GTO. So guys, let me know whatever car I've missed out on, and if you don't mind, just add in the comments which car you feel I should have added on the list. It can be a luxury, sports, even a K car if you feel. So please like and subscribe, even share if you must. Thank you for watching.